Good evening and welcome to another edition of JU Dolphins Up Close. I'm Scott Manzi. One of the biggest ventures of the new year is the ESPN3 initiative that the Atlantic Sun Conference has launched. All 8 schools in the league now have the ability to broadcast sports in high definition with full ESPN integration. For JU, that meant the retirement of the old production van, Big Blue, and a shiny new truck outfitted with the latest technology to help bring JU Dolphins athletics to life all across the United States.
Well, we love it, having the JU Dolphin brand right beside the ESPN3 brand. In this case, albeit the ESPN3 specific brand, it's good branding for us. It's a high market value for us. I mean, the way I look at it is we've got 514 student athletes, 19 Division I sports. 75% of our student athletes come from outside the state of Florida. So when you have that great a proportion of our kids that are outside the state, one of the things that helps us in recruiting is to be able to say, hey, mom and dad, you're going to be able to dial in ESPN3, high definition, great quality, and watch your student athlete play their respective sport. That's a big deal for us. Well, the cool thing about that truck is I had nothing to do with it. I'm going to tip a cap to Corey Gaynor and to Todd Vatter, who, when we were putting together the plan to put into place all of the ESPN3 production requirements, Corey came to me and he laid it out and said, hey, Doc, look, we can meet these requirements, and we're going to have enough money left to have a mobile capability. And I said, okay, in English, tell me what all that means. He said, well, you can either have a fixed facility, a fixed studio, or we could load all of these goodies, all this state-of-the-art ESPN3 HD equipment, put it in a mobile van where we can actually mobily broadcast all 19 sports. I talked to some of my brothers and sisters in the AD community in the Atlantic Sun, and very few chose to do that, mainly because they didn't have enough money to do it. But what Corey Gaynor and Todd Vatter were able to do is save enough money from the money that was allocated from the conference for these acquisitions. We added a little bit of our incoming money from the ASUN that we get annually. We were well within budget, and so we got a great air-conditioned mobile capability that really not only puts us on the map in terms of being able to broadcast all 19 sports, not just from a studio environment, but in a field environment. The other thing is this van's all over town, and it's a good-looking van. And with a great partnership from Coggin and JU were able to put our decals and monikers and logos all over this thing. And I got to tell you, of all the things we do that are great in JU athletics, that van gets more publicity and more eye time and is more eye-catching than anything else we do. So it's really worked out well.
Everything starts with our director slot, which sits right here. Right here we have our carbonite switcher. It allows us to give us 4 different camera angles and 2 replay angles. Right now you're seeing last night's basketball game. We got 2 different replay angles, one here, with 4 cameras. Also with here, you're able to do your expressions graphics. All of our ESPN3 graphics are pushed right through here with all of our different wipes, which allow us to be on that ESPN caliber that we need to be. Right next to the director, we have our replay system. This is the 3-play system from NewTek. It is able to take us 4 different angles, which we can show simultaneously, that allow our play-by-play guy to follow the game more closely. It shows us different calls on the court from 4 different angles where we can get nice and close, slow him down, and allows him to follow the game better on ESPN. Sitting behind the director in the replay is our audio and utility guy. He is in charge of making sure all the mics on the play-by-play work, all the mics on the rims work, all the mics on the floor work, make sure everything's getting a program feed, making sure everything's going. Right here you have the 32 input digital mixing board from Behringer. It allows us to basically have as many mic feeds as possible. Everything is connected right into this through different switches in the back. Everything has to come through this board before we can go live on ESPN. Everything has to be tested. Everything is basically controlled. This is the mind of the broadcast right here. And our front seat holds our expressions graphics machine. That is our final piece for our ESPN production. That allows us to have all the ESPN graphics, the score bug, the intros, the outros, the ESPN replay onto our live production feed to make it be a real-life ESPN broadcast.
As an academician, as an AD who loves academics and combining athletics with it, This is a great opportunity for us to partner with our College of Communications. And with that department, who has Emmy Award winners in it, has a lot of students that are a part of it, we have students on internships right now from our communications department that are learning the operations of an ESPN3 HD production, and that's a big deal.
It's a great resume builder. It's, a one-of-a-kind of experience. And I think that type of experience is what might entice other students to come to JU. It shows that we are serious, like Dr. Horner said before, and that this is a trusted program, and that this is a way you can break into the industry, no matter what major. I've learned how fast-paced everything is. When you watch a game from ESPN, you don't really realize how much is going into it, each replay, each scene, each angle. It shows you, how to put a whole piece of work together and do it efficiently for live television.
Well, I think what this does is it tells our student athletes and our coaches in particular that we're serious about this. If we have a Division I sport, we're committed to it. We love our relationship with our local broadcasters, whether television or radio or 1010XL or so forth. But you have to have a national presence. If you're going to be taken seriously as a mid-major Division I FBS or FCS program, as we are, you have to have the capability to go national and go live at really at the drop of a hat. So I think what this does, it's a statement, and I really commend the Atlantic Sun, the presidents, and the commissioner for doing this because we're out front.
It's 2015 and basketball finds itself in the midst of conference play. Big wins for the women in the River City Rumble over UNF, and the men at home over its oldest rival, Stetson. While it is always great to see JU athletes excel in the athletic realm, when they excel in the classroom as well, it reinforces the significance of the term student athlete. The Green Ladies were recently honored as part of the top 40 best and brightest of the Davis College of Business at JU. A look at how they managed to perform at the highest level both on and off the field. Imagine being a full-time college student while also working a full-time job. Sounds strenuous, right?
Well, that's essentially the life of a college athlete, yet despite the time commitment, many still find a way not only to perform, but to excel in the classroom. There are some keys to managing the workload.
It's knowing when to work and when to relax. For me, I'm the type of person, I will just work myself to death because I just want to get it done. I'm so determined and I want to make sure that I'm successful. So for me, it's finding the balance of knowing when to do your homework, knowing when to make sure that you're going to bed on time, and making sure that you're just managing your time in a way that you can be successful both academically, athletically, and also have a time where you can relax and make friends. So for that, I would say it is very hard. It's hard, and I'm not saying I never get stressed out, because I do, but I find ways to make myself relax so that I can continue to look at what is my schedule and how am I going to get everything done.
I have to keep everything on my phone at all times. I try and stay organized, but around here, like the coaches, they send reminder texts. Our teammates are helping each other, so I'll never forget. I'll never be late to a practice because we're always checking on each other, like, hey, you're not here, where are you at? So that helps me. It's just experience. It's hard, but you have to know going into it, it's going to be difficult to balance everything.
Well, luckily our coaches give us our schedule ahead of time with practices, so I can work out my classes and when I have time to do things in between. So that really helps me out planning-wise. And I also just have a huge master calendar that just plans out everything that I do every day, and a lot of lists, and that's the way I keep track of everything.
Victoria Brown, Samantha Turner, and Tori Seitz were recently named to the top 40 best and brightest of Davis College of Business, a distinction earned by a select few of the 850 business students at JU.
It was just really, it made me really excited. I got the application, obviously. I hoped I would get it. I had some friends get it last year, so I just hoped I was good enough, and to know that, it was just like a lot of validation, like hard work, and like, I mean, I was getting noticed, like I was getting put on a magazine cover, you know? Like, I'll just be right there in the business college. So that was like really, really cool just to be noticed. A lot of people have come up to me, congratulating me. I've made a lot of friends through it. So it was a really great program. I was really thankful I was part of it.
Well, I remember walking into DCOB my freshman year, and I saw, they have a little projector when you walk in straight into the building, and it was showing different people's pictures, and I was like, who are these people? And I looked, and it was the top 40. So for me, I kind of always wanted to be in that, just because I'm the type of person, I want to be the best. And even if someone is doing better than me, that just makes me want to push to work harder, or just be where they are. Because for me, I think I want to be successful, and if I'm not successful, it kind of upsets me just a little bit.
I was excited. There was a girl on our team last year, Alexandra Hoffman, who had the same recognition, and I'd always wanted to do that too. So when I got it this year, I was very excited about it. Yeah, it definitely set a great tone for my spring semester as a senior.
In the process of earning that distinction, Victoria and Samantha have learned the importance of building relationships.
Honestly, I saw a lot through softball, and I saw a lot in some internships that I've done. I think the best way for a company to succeed is to invest in their people, because that's really where you get your results. I'm actually trying to intern for Southwest this summer, and they're really big on that, is giving back to their people, and just focusing on more as a person and not an employee. Because I see that's how I get the best results, is if I feel like I'm a person, then I want to work harder for you. And I love softball, it's what I do, but if I don't feel comfortable, if I don't feel wanted, then I don't want to be here. But if I feel like this is my family, I want to come in and I want to work really hard.
If you know how people are, where their motives, their perspectives, what they like, what they don't like, that's what really helps sell a product. So why I really want to look at consumer behavior, because not only does it apply in business, but it also applies in everyday life. You have to understand people in order to be able to work with them, in order to be able to talk to them, being able to reach them in a way that you can communicate and get things done. So for me, if I know how a person is, or how their personality is, or how they like to talk, or how they like to communicate, for me, it makes it so that it's easier to build a better relationship.
While they are still in school, they strive to set examples to the underclassmen in hopes that they follow in their footsteps.
I think anytime somebody on our team, makes a big academic achievement, it's, our coaches announce it and everyone knows about it.
Girls will come up and ask me some class questions for sure, but like every camp we work, I try and talk about scheduling and time management and balancing it. I think the girls on the team see like, oh, we can succeed academically. Like we don't need to be like bogged down and like making an excuse that we're athletes, so I don't need that. Because our coaches do hold us to a higher standard for sure, and we do need to excel in the classroom as well as on the field.
The classroom success has also helped Samantha in the athletic realm.
Knowing how people react and how they are, seeing how they react when it comes to if they're doing well or if they're not doing well. Because you can ultimately help one of your teammates perform better. Like, I know with some of our teammates, they don't deal well with like negative criticism. So sometimes you have to go up to them and say, you're doing well, and just giving them positive reinforcement so that they feel like, even though maybe someone says I'm not doing well, they still believe in themselves.
Tori has found plenty of similarities between sports and business.
Anywhere where it can move up, that's really something that I look for when looking for a job. Is I want the option of being able to advance in employment, and I think that comes from me always being competitive, being on a team. I also like the team atmosphere in a work environment, which is why I'm interested in auditing for accounting, because you work in teams to do your work. So that's something I'm used to, and that's something I enjoy.
Where will their pursuits take them after college?
Only last week signed with PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is one of the big 4 accounting firms. So as of right now, that's where I'm headed in the accounting field. But eventually, I'd like to get into some nonprofit accounting. I helped start a nonprofit with a real estate development company last summer, and that's something that I would eventually like to get back into.
I was kind of looking at nonprofit organizations just because for me, I don't really like being a part of an organization where they don't have a strong goal, or I want to do more than just provide a product to someone.
I just really like the accounting that it does, and I also like that it does, good for other people. So if I'm going to be working, I'd like to be working, helping other people, not just for myself.
Even if it's just one person, to me, I would be so thankful to feel like I was significant and that I could do something more than just make myself happy.
Actually, I wanted to be a pilot my freshman year. My senior year in high school, I got really serious about it. I got my private pilot's license in Texas. And then I found this school, not only do they want me to play softball, but they have a flight program that's really hard to find. And I came here my freshman year, I did do the flight program, got my instrument rating. I decided that's not the lifestyle I want. I love flying, personally, but as a lifestyle, as a job, it's very hard to have a family, it's very hard to have a life at all. And it's not really, and I like being around people. I want to be like social in a workplace, but I still like the industry. And so luckily they have an aviation management major here. And it's a very good program. It's a really good business college. And I was just lucky that the transition was so smooth from one major to another, because for a lot of people it's really difficult to switch. I'm actually graduating a year early this year. And so I want to work for Southwest in their internship program because it's an incredible program to be a part of. I've applied and I'm seeing if they'll get back to me right now. I want to be an intern this summer because I want to come back to JU and get my MBA the following year so I can still play, still get my degree, and then I want to work for them. Hopefully they'll offer me a job through the internship next year. But obviously, who knows, but I hope it works out.
That will do it for this episode of JU Dolphins Up Close. Until next time, good night.